Welcome back to the Average Guy's Restoration Blog, Project Beep Beep. I'm going to tackle the turn signal switch, and you can see right there, I don't know if you can really see colors that well, but here's the replacement turn signal switch, and I can already tell it's not a big deal. Not a big deal, but I will have to make a sub diagram. Here's the factory service manual. You can see right here, turn signal switch. Orange, 18 orange, that's the dial bulb for the shift indicator. And you've got white, dark green, light green, brown, black, tan. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not brown, that's 18 red, and then 18 brown. So if we go over here and look at the replacement turn signal switch, I don't really see a light green. So there's a green and then a green with a black tracer. I guess I'm slightly colorblind. The brown looks sort of brown. Anyhow, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to, before I even remove the old turn signal switch, I'm at least going to trace the greens, the tan, and the brown to the old turn signal switch and make certain I know where it is going on the new turn signal switch. Might even take a photo of the back of the old turn signal switch so I can compare it to the new one. And I did get from O'Reilly, and I'm pleased. It's a made in Canada tool. It's only $14, 56500, and you can see right here these two prongs will fit into the connector to pop each terminal out so I can fish it back through the column. So let's get to work. Okay, we'll compare old with new here, and taking the video one-handed. I know the old one's pretty dirty. Obviously the old one is a little bit heavier duty. I'm not going to say this one feels flimsy, but it's definitely lighter than this one. And I notice in the back the cancel cam has that little, looks like just a little steel plate, whereas back here the cancel cam has nothing. Right, this is what's broken on Beep Beep, right there where I'm pointing. See, this is how it cancels. The steering wheel comes up and hits this clip. There isn't one for the left. And here on the new switch, there's right and left. So let's get this one in and see how it works. So I'll do a wrap-up video tomorrow. Didn't break anything, and the horn goes beep beep, which is very important. It's all back together. Brake lights work, turn signals work, hazards are functional, and now it's the stock will cancel on turns. I think I showed when we were looking at the other switch that down here the left-hand part of the cancel cam was broken. So I made a mistake, and so here's a tip. So if you look at this contact, you can see right here that it mates, the mating surface is just the opposite of this contact. And which way since I had two rows, okay, of contacts, did this face each other, or were they symmetrical? So, and I didn't take a picture of that, so I had to go back and look at the mating connector. And so in the future, before you de-pin your Molex connector, especially if there is a mechanical polarity here to how the contact's made up, make sure you note which way they go. Incidentally, the switch that I replaced had brass contacts. I was kind of impressed with that. This switch did well for 50 years, and I'm going to put it back in this box because I may buy a cancel cam and stick on this old switch and just keep it around. So the drawing came in handy. You know, the old wire was dark green, the new wire was blue-green, and I started with orange and then just worked up on one side and then the other, again making sure that I had these back to back, this edge back to back in the connector. Now, this tool, I'm sorry to say this tool is almost useless. Now, it worked on the center pins. Right here is what I needed to unlock the, so what it does is it goes in between each side here. Sorry, I can't get closer, and helps you pull this out of the plastic housing. But here's the problem, and I'm one-handed here. So if you can envision, this little cap is my connector. You can see I can go deep here to these pins, right? But then up here, see where this right here is getting in my way of the connector? For this to be useful on that connector, I would have had to take some snippers and just cut this off, because you're coming down and this is interfering. It's not allowing you to go deep enough into the connector to unlock the pins. Yeah, it worked on the center pins just fine. I mean, within seconds I had the center 3 pins of the connector. But the pins that are on the edges, you know, pin 10, 5, 6, and 1, this did not work. How did I get it out? Well, I went back to the old tried and true dental tools, and I encourage everybody to have a set of these. You can buy them at flea markets. Some of the electronic shops sell them, and I mean real dental tools. I don't mean the circuit board. A lot of people will sell what they call circuit board tools, and they look like dental tools, but they're made out of really lightweight cast. I think they're cast aluminum or whatever. These are stainless steel. These are real dental tools, and I think I paid probably $5 a piece for them, but they don't break. They're very strong, okay? And so anyway, I would stick one, it depended on which edge of the connector I was in. I would stick this on the left-hand side of the contact, wiggle it a little bit and kind of break it loose, and then go to the other side of the contact, get it up in there and wiggle it. It took some finesse, but it worked. Everything's back together. I'll do the quick wrap-up video tomorrow night. Thanks for watching, and hopefully my weather strip is on back order, and that's a long story too. I may talk about weather strip in the wrap-up video. Thank you for watching. Wrap-up video, start to finish, maybe a little over 2 hours. The turn signal switch, of course, activates the turn signals. It has some other functions I'll explain in a minute. But the most important function on the Roadrunner for the turn signal switch is coupling the horn through to this ring. So we tested that function, and that seems to work. What a turn signal switch does is when the turn signal is on, it also has to disconnect the brake light voltage to the back, such that that side will flash. So we're going to do a quick test, demonstrate that, and that'll be the end of the video. So I should have brake lights. Are the brake lights on? Good. And that should be the left signal. And that should be the right. And then for the final test, the hazard flashers also couples around the brake or around the turn signal switch. So another quick, easy improvement. I love these little 2-hour projects that make the car much more enjoyable to drive, And of course you could consider this a safety issue. The trunk weather strip. Believe it or not, the guy that makes the exact reproduction trunk weather strip, he has to manually glue pieces back here to replicate the factory weather strip. This has a reproduction weather strip that doesn't work very well. Anyhow, long story short, he told me due to COVID, it's still on back order, his raw materials. Once I get that weather strip, that'll be the next video. Thanks.